Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast but didn't know where to start? Well, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor is your one-stop shop for podcasting. They have tools that you can edit, add music, all right from your phone or your computer. They'll even distribute your podcast so that it can be heard everywhere like Spotify, Apple, and even on Google. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Good morning, everybody. This is morning coffee.
It's time to pour it, stir it up, and serve it up. This is the Morning Coffee Podcast Show, your unofficial wake-up call. Here to help you live your best life and revolutionize your relationships, faith, inspiration, and love. Start your day the right way with Morning Coffee. Here's your host, Tanisha R. Atkins.
Good morning, everybody. You are tuned into the Morning Coffee Live Show. I am the host, Tanisha R. Atkins, back with another great episode this morning. Happy Monday to everybody. I pray and trust that you had the best weekend that you could, even in spite of the situation that's going on right now in our nation. But hey, we made it. We're alive. We're still here. And that's what matters, okay? So this week, guys, we're in the middle of season 3, where our theme is taking your life off of the repeat cycle. Great theme. I'm excited to talk about that all season long. And so this week, I know we were supposed to talk about a new series about parenting, but I was kind of led to go in a different direction this week. And this week is going to be all about transparency. We're going to be transparent this week. I'm going to share some things with you that I've been dealing with and how different steps and measures that I'm taking to try to work through those things in an attempt to encourage you and encourage myself at the same time. Well, let's just get started. This is a week of transparency. So I want to talk about, I'm going to call today's title, Deal with Your Issues. A lot of times we repeat things, cycles, situations, relationships, habits, because we're sweeping things underneath the rug instead of dealing with them. And trust me, this week I'm not pointing the fingers at anybody, because just over the weekend, I just have been taking a look at some things that keep resurfacing in my life and realizing that I have not properly dealt with them, right? Just because I'm the host of the Morning Coffee Show doesn't mean that I don't have issues or I deal with things. And, I'm not going to pretend like my life is just picture perfect, because it's definitely not. I've actually had some people to say to me, well, why are you hosting a podcast about inspiration and growing up and you're dealing with certain things? And for a long time, I let that stop me from going forward with the podcast. I'm just going to be honest, right? It's a week of transparency. And God had to get after me, because there's never going to be a perfect time to me. I'm not going to say a perfect. Things are never going to be perfect. So you have to learn to move in the right timing of things. And so I know that this podcast blesses many of you. I go back and listen to it all the time, and it blesses me as well. So, but needless to say, there are still things that I need to deal with. And maybe you're feeling like that too. There are things that we just sweep under the rug, And what I found out is, even though we sweep those things under the rug, there's things that we're unconsciously doing to cope with the things that's underneath us or inside of us. This is a week of transparency, and I'm going to be very transparent with y'all this week. I hope y'all can handle it. And so one of the things that I have used to cope, poor diet, just eating comfort food instead of really. Let me tell you what happens when what I've noticed when I have gone on this spiral to eat clean and stuff. I noticed that I'm really in a better space, but there's a part of me that still kind of longs for that comfort food. And, it's because there's just some things there that I need to deal with. And I want to encourage you to really take a look at your life and ask yourself, what are some things that you need to deal with? What are some things that you're doing to cope with things that you're not dealing with? See, if we're going to take our lives off the repeat cycle and keep these things from resurfacing, we have to get real. We have to really examine what's going on the inside of us and deal with it. And stop trying to hide it and pacify it, because it's never going to go away. It's just like a baby when they're hungry. When a baby is hungry, you can give them the pacifier for a little bit, but eventually you're going to have to feed that baby. So a lot of us are just pacifying the issues and not fully dealing with them. The issues are screaming out because they need to be dealt with. Like, even though we're Christians, we're not perfect. And it definitely doesn't mean that we're not faced, with challenges. So don't let nobody make you feel bad about what you're going through. But at the same time, you need to deal with it and figure out why are you going through that, and it's a week of transparency. So this week, I'm going to be sharing and talking more about like what's really going on inside. Like what is it? What is it that we need to deal with? And I want to encourage you to take this journey with me. We may talk about it for a week. We may talk about it for 2 weeks. We're going to see just how long we need to kind of stay here and talk about that. And so, I'm actually faced with something. This week that I'm actually facing something this week, which is one of my areas, and I'm going to have to really step up and deal with that. And so I'm just asking y'all to pray for me. There's just something that I have been avoiding. I avoid it as much as I can because I think I've tried to deal with it in the past, and I haven't been successful. And so sometimes that makes you get in a rut where you don't want to deal with it. But maybe it was the way that I dealt with it, So it's causing me to go back and say, you need to come at this another way. You really need to. And to be honest, the Word of God is the answer to everything. So I'm going to spend some time this week really just in the scriptures about this situation. And I'm going to apply some pressure there. And I want to encourage you to do that too. Like, search the Word. Whatever your situation is, search the Word, find some scriptures, and let's apply the pressure where the pressure needs to be applied. So I'm going to keep it short for y'all today. It's Monday, but this is a week of transparency. So tune in every day. We're going to be transparent. Drop me some nuggets on social media and tell me what do you need to be transparent about? What's going on in you? You don't have to spill all your business, but what is it that you're dealing with that you need to face? So drop me some nuggets. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Morning Coffee Live Show. And just go on there and leave me a comment. You can private message me and tell me whatever you want me to be in agreement with you in prayer about. And I'll do that. So I'm going to keep it short today. It's Monday. My little nephew has just woke up from his nap. And so I'm going to have to cut my episode a little bit shorter today because he's definitely not having it. But thank you all for tuning in with me. It's a week of transparency. Our next series is going to be the parent trap, so don't worry, it's coming. But let's deal with some stuff while we're going through this COVID-19. We're praying for that to get out. Let's deal with our issues while we're at home. Let's really go to God in prayer. And the Word of God says He'll help us. When we're weak, He will help us. So like I said, you pray for me and I'm going to pray for you. And we're going to do it. We're going to deal with our issues. So I'll be back tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. where we're going to talk about transparent. We're going to get more transparent. All right. So I'll tell y'all a little bit about what it is I need to be transparent with. So stay tuned all week long. Have a great day.
Every day I wake up with purpose, starting my day with faith and inspiration. Wouldn't have it no other way. Live, laugh, love. Let's make the world better. Give somebody a hug. Let's bring the world back together. With morning coffee, let's have morning coffee. Morning coffee. Start your day with faith, inspiration, and love. Start your day with faith, inspiration, and love.